Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special hot takes episode of No One Can Agree. I am your host and moderator, Joe Love. With me on the panel, I have Nino Brown and also Judge. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? It's been a while.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Don't all
Yeah,
talk at once.
absolutely.
so,
Absolutely. Doing well. That has been a while, man.
so
Missed you
just
guys.
to, just to get everyone caught up to speed, No One Can Agree has taking a hiatus of sorts. So we've been going for a little while. All side media is still around. No one can agree. Has not disseminated just yet. We're just reorganizing and restructuring. Today, you notice there is no video. So we're trying out a new different thing. Today is not going to be a full episode. It's going to be a hot take. So without further ado, I'm going to get this thing kicked off. Uh, and right now, with the climate, it's NBA playoff time. Gents, let me know your picks. I know we're already in the conference finals now. So your pick may have already been gone home, like myself. But who you got left? There's four teams left. You got Cleveland. You got Boston. You got Golden State, and you got Houston. Out of those four teams, who you guys got?
I got Houston coming out of the West in 7, and I got the Cavs coming out in 5
Oh,
in that series.
gentlemen sweep.
Gentlemen sweep.
So
Yeah.
Celtics have
Yeah,
no chance.
I would hope that Houston comes out of the West. I don't believe they're gonna be able to do it. I hope they do, because if they do, then they'll most likely win it. But and that'll be great for Houston having the World Series and the NBA championship at the same season. So
Oh, that'd be
I
cool. That'd
think,
be
yeah, man, that'd be great. Um, so yeah. So I'm leaning more towards Golden State and the Cavs, um, but you never know. So I'll say Golden State and the Cavs in the final. Golden State in 4.
Golden State in fourth. So a sweep.
hmm Yeah, I think it'll
Sweep
be a
of the
sweep.
final.
But
All right.
the only crazy thing that I would say that you have to watch is Brad Stevens coaching the Celtics. The guy's a mastermind, and
hmm
he's gonna have something drawn up for LeBron. So we'll see.
Yeah, I actually think Houston might be able to slide by Golden State, and I think people are sleeping on the Celtics, but I think they're going to win the series.
Hmm.
I think the
It would be
Celtics
fun
are
to see
going.
two different teams. So I agree.
I think that LeBron gets put out by the Celtics without Kyrie Irving.
Hmm. So
That's my
I think
hot take.
I think the problem with that is, coaching can only take you so far. At
Yeah,
some
hmm
point, you just run up on a team that's just more talented, and I think that the talent will just at this point knock Boston out.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what they're doing is remarkable. I mean, getting this far with two of their star players out and a third who's been injured the whole series. I mean, it's crazy, man.
hmm Yeah, that shows heart there, man. When you got guys that's just, we professionals and they want to play like it. They're
Right,
not just trying to give it up. So I agree with you.
right.
no doubt, no doubt. So who you got winning it all?
I got the Cavs winning it all.
Cavs with the championship.
Cavs with the championship. I think the Cavs will match up with Houston well, and can get up the floor on them, and I like the Cavs in that matchup if it's the Cavs in Houston.
That is an unpopular pick, and I may have a bet for you after the show. Uh,
You stupid.
James, what about you?
That's a tough pick, but you never know.
Never
But I
know.
would say, again, like I said, I'm hoping Houston gets past Golden State. But if they don't, I think Golden State is going to take it. Uh, but that's not saying, like you said, Reggie, if Boston beats the Cavs, I believe they could pull what Detroit did against Shaq and them that year, where they upset them in the finals.
Right.
So I wouldn't put that past them either.
Yeah, I don't. Has there been any upsets in these finals thus far? I don't think there has.
Unless you Charles Barkley, then you would say the Cavs beating Toronto.
No. Oh no.
I mean, I guess you could kind of consider Boston winning this last series somewhat of an upset because, like I said, they're playing with a bunch of role players. Like,
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think a lot of people thought Philly was going to win. They had the motivation.
Yeah, didn't it?
And they had the crowd on their side, and they had momentum going into the playoffs. So yeah, I can see that one being the only one really.
Was it old boy defensive player of the year?
Ooh, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I didn't check the list. I don't even know if they released it yet.
Yeah, I don't think they released it yet.
But to segue off that, Coach of the Year just got announced. What do y'all think about the Coach of the Year? It's Utah's coach, Mr. Snyder. Do y'all agree with that, or do you think it should have went to someone else?
Well, I think it's tough because if they're going to announce it later, I think they should wait later before even deciding. Because I mean, people are looking at it now and saying, okay, why the hell was Boston coach not given any votes? And I know it's coaches that do the voting, but I mean, I think now if it's not just hate, that those coaches would look at what he has done currently in the playoffs, and would say, okay, he's obviously, the best, should have gotten coach of the year.
Mm-hmm. I think he's up. He definitely should have gotten considered. He should have gotten some kind of consideration. I think. I think maybe, especially with the injuries he's had all season, and they really had a good playoff run and up until the playoffs. But I think Utah's coach does deserve it, so I won't take anything from him. I think Utah was a team that nobody was checking for, and they got to the second round with no problem. No problem at all. And actually, that also might have been an upset. Utah and OKC. That probably was an upset.
That was it. Yep, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat them pretty good too.
Yeah, they beat them handily.
But
what was it, 4-1? 4-2?
Yeah, I think it was 4-2. I think. Yeah. I want to segue though on that though and say, what's up with those ugly jerseys though? When did they even do the color change?
I don't know. I like the old. I'm old school, so I like the old Utah Jazz. I like the '90s and the early 2000 Utah Jazz color, and not just because I like the colors. It was just a different color. You want teams to look different.
Right. They look like the Pacers now.
Yeah,
agreed. That's what I was thinking. They look like the Pacers. Sure do.
You want your team to stand out and be distinguishable amongst others. So,
right.
But yeah. All right. So, what else we got, guys? I know we've been off a few months actually, and we got a lot of stories that we missed out on.
A lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff we'd have missed out on talking about.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to talk or touch on while we got this time here?
Well, I just want to let the fans know that we are going to have this debate that everyone seems to be having, but it's much needed about LeBron James and his soon to be GOAT title.
Oh, man.
we'll definitely be having that debate at some point soon.
What kind of GOAT title you mean? Billy Goat? It gonna be Billy Goat.
I'll
yeah.
say if he wins another championship, he doesn't have to get 6. But if he wins another one, I could possibly say he's number 2 all time.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I can give him that. Now, if they try to give LeBron GOAT status, they're going to have to give Jordan Ram status or something, man. They're going to have to make up a new acronym with a bigger animal.
Yeah, my hot take is that LeBron is...
You know what? Let's really be honest, though. There's really no greatest. Because unless you put them 1-on-1 and say, all right, I'm just going to beat you in 21 or to 10 or whatever, there really ain't no, like, this is the greatest person ever to play the game, period. That's it. It's really not. It's different eras. So we got to be honest.
Right.
I mean,
that's the hard part.
That is the hard part. And it's always going to be fan debate, and you will never really know unless they play it against each other. But, you know, with that being said, ESPN is pushing for this argument to happen across the nation, and they are very successful at the argument actually taking place. Because every time about this year, and this year even more so, that they bring up that argument, and they're trying to hit people to talk about it. So we
talk about it anyway, even when there wasn't no ESPN. That's barbershop talk.
I don't talk about it. I don't bring it up.
Well, see, my hot take is that he's already in the number 2 spot, and we'll go into that later on about how I justify all of that. But as far as being number 1, I don't think he's currently there. But I think that argument is a valid argument that is definitely worthy of being discussed, especially if he gets to that 8 consecutive finals appearance this year, which is just unheard of in today's game for a guy to go to 8 consecutive finals. That's like, we talking about almost a decade of finals. Like not just going to the playoffs and doing well, but going to the elite game, the pinnacle of your game every single year.
Let me ask you something, man. What's the percentage of 5 out of 8? What's the percentage of that?
I don't know. You tell me. But see, you know, I do make this argument though. So and you are a New England fan, but when we have the debate about the GOAT in football, people overlook the fact that Tom has lost Super Bowls, but Montana lost none.
3. He lost 3 now. He's lost 3.
So we overlook the fact that Tom has lost Super Bowls and Montana lost none, and we say that Brady is the GOAT. Well, we go to the argument of, and the only reason that y'all will say that it's okay is because Brady has more than Montana, but he still lost.
No, not only that. It's a different game. It's a different game, and it's different. It's played differently. Football and basketball are 2 totally different sports. You can rely on one person in football and basketball more than you can rely on one person in football. That's just facts. You can't play offense and defense.
I agree.
So there's that. You have to take that in consideration. And then in football, you don't make the championship games as often. It's almost unheard of. It is unheard of to go as much as Brady has actually went.
Just like it's unheard of for a guy to go to 7 consecutive finals appearances.
True. Yeah, it is.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, you talking about one player in the history of the game.
Well, it wasn't just him; it's the whole team now.
I mean, the Celtics did. I mean, the Celtics with Bird did it a lot too now.
Right, but hold on. So what we're talking about is people bring up Bill Russell. Bill Russell was playing at a time where the league consisted of 5 or 6 teams. We
Yeah.
ain't talking about 2010.
So we understand that of LeBron's greatness, but there are things that play a factor in him going to the finals for the last 7-8 years. There are factors in that.
Okay. So you don't think that those same factors existed during the time of MJ?
No, 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 and hell no.
Yeah, they
And
did.
I'll tell you why. And it's no fault of LeBron. It's no fault of, well, I ain't gonna say it's no fault, but it's no
It ain't
fault of
LeBron's fault.
LeBron. But player bargaining agreements and how NBA players are allowed to move around now has a greater effect on the weight shifting in the NBA. So it's not their fault. I would do it if you could. I mean, you give players a boat ton of money and allow them to go wherever they want to go, as long as the team they want to go to is able to pay for it. Hey, you do what you want to do. That's no fault of LeBron's, but it does shift how the NBA is.
Yeah, I mean the Cavs were so bad they had to use a number one pick on the best player in the last 15, 16 years. They was a terrible team. So I mean,
And
the
you can
East
take
was bad. Period. For a
yeah,
while,
you can take
still
that same
kind of.
logic. You can take that same logic and look at how the Sixers are. The Sixers are now a pretty good team, and they got that way from being very terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that's the same argument you can make with the Bulls. That's how they got MJ.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
But he was number 3, not number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had a bust on the mother two in comparison.
Mhm.
That's just like the kid from Utah, Mitchell, man. What pick was he?
I can't remember.
What was he?
He
Number
wasn't
3 or number 5?
he wasn't number one, and he should have
Nah,
been.
not at all.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was a wasted number 1 pick.
So we'll get into this NBA talk, especially around championship. And if LeBron gets his 4 rings, he definitely jumps up a notch. I already have him in the top 5 all time, in my top 5 all time.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody claims I'm a LeBron hater, but that's not true. I actually like LeBron James. I think he's a great human being. And LeBron, if you're listening, you're a friend of the show. You can come on anytime you want. What else we got, fellas? What else we got? We got baseball season kicking back off. You guys watching any baseball? You guys following any baseball?
Man, I'm looking at Ole Miss right now. They're playing Auburn in a pretty big game for them. Watching them right now. SEC Network.
Okay.
Nice.
I think
I try to go to the games whenever I can, Joe. That's about it. It's NBA playoff time, so I really don't have time to watch baseball as much as I like. But we try to go to the games as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty laser focused on basketball until the finals over with. Then I'll focus on other sports. So the NFL draft just happened 2 weeks ago, right here in Dallas, Texas, where I am and where Reggie is. What y'all think of the draft? Who you think win? Who you think came out on top in the draft?
Go ahead, Judd.
That's hard to say. I just like those picks, but I wouldn't say they came out on top. I would say it's really everybody. I don't think it's any game changing. You're gonna go from a poor team to a really good team picks. But if I would say so, I'd say my team, the Broncos.
Broncos, you think they got better?
I think when they went defense with the 3 defense players they picked up to kind of to get that pass rush back.
Yeah.
And I think adding another running back to the team and wide receiver, I think was good, and a tight end too. So I think they had a really good draft. I like to see what the Browns do too, keeping a lot of their core players and see what they do since they had the
Yeah,
first pick. But we'll see.
I think the Browns actually had a really good draft. I think they had a good offseason as well with pickups. So
And the Cardinals.
I look to see that the Browns make some moves uh, this season coming up. Uh,
I
and
hope
I
so.
and I and I want to say they might get a positive win loss record there. Also, the 49ers look pretty good in the offseason with pickups. Uh,
Hmm.
and their drafts was pretty decent. So the 49ers, they're definitely going to bulk up from last season. So I see them turning around.
Right. I got three teams that I really like. The Cardinals, and getting Rosen, I thought was huge.
Agreed.
Okay, yeah.
You add him with
Yeah, I
DJ.
agree.
He got a chip on his shoulder for
Hmm.
falling so low. I love the pick. Um, and then the Browns. I think at some point you got to say, man, we're getting these number one picks and all these different first round picks so often the
They
last
got the
3 to 4 years.
Hmm.
I mean, at some point, talent is just talent. It's gonna show up like the Sixers
Mm-hmm.
did in basketball. And lastly, I'm a huge fan of Ronald Jones and what I think he's going to be a running back.
Okay.
And the Bucks getting him, I think, is going to be because they need a running back. I think it's going to play out. And it might be my fantasy sleeper before we get into the fantasy
Yeah, good
season.
pick.
Oh man, that'll be a good. Actually, we might need to do a show on fantasy sleepers.
Right.
Uh, I also want to mention that the New York Football Giants, who I hate, by the way, I think I think they might be okay uh, coming back off of those injuries and a bad, terrible season. I think they might bounce back okay. They got a really good running back, and Odell Beckham Jr. just got ranked uh, number 77th best player in the NFL. So I think that's gonna put a little chip on his shoulder coming in next season.
Right.
Him being ranked the 77th best player. I don't know who made the list. I want to say it was uh I want to say it was NFL. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But whoever,
I know there's not 76 teams. I mean, 76 players that are better than them.
yeah. So with that ranking, you gotta say this guy's probably thinking to himself, "Oh, they think I didn't fell off. I'm coming for your throat this season coming up." So I would be on the lookout for him, especially with them finally having a running game. I don't know how well they'll be able to block for the guy, but they got a running game.
I think a good running back can make an offensive line look a whole lot better.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see with that the Saquon. They got Saquon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Saquon is he looks pretty good.
Right.
All right, gents. What else we got? I think we're running at about right under 25 minutes now. You guys want to talk any politics, any scandals that's happening right now? I know there are some things we might want to say for the full episode 16 of No One Can Agree, but we got Trump in some mess. We got Trump pulling out of some mess. We got North Korea. We got Iran. We got all kind of political things going on right now. Anything you want to comment on really quick? Hot take.
My hot take would be that irregardless of the spin that the media is putting on this presidency, his his base is growing. And I know that the media reports different types of numbers showing that that's not the case, but the
Hmm.
media also put out numbers prior to him being elected that he had no shot. Um, I think that there's a large segment of this country who could care less about what's going on with him morally, and they only concerned about what he's actually doing. And in a lot of ways, what he's doing fits their agenda. You know, so I think that's something to watch moving forward. Keep in mind, that's not my opinion on how he's doing, but that is, in my opinion, something to look at in regards to his presence.
To get to me.
I agree. I think you're right. I think all the bad things that Trump has going on is just personal dislike. But actually, policies, presidential and things of that nature. I mean, it's you gotta go with what's working for you as a person. Judge, you got a little background noise out there.
My bad. Yeah, I'm outside. So.
Oh, appreciate you letting us know. Yep. So we'll touch on some more. We'll dig more in depth on the full show here, and I think we're gonna be able to. We can go ahead and wrap it up here. We just wanted to say hi to all you folks out there, and No One Can Agree is back. We're gonna change up some things. We're gonna liven things up a bit, and we're gonna bring you good content, man, and just good conversation. Any closing words, Reggie?
No, let's get it. Let's go. Let's get back in it so I can fire y'all up.
Yeah, I'm back to beat y'all up. That's right.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
All right.
Out.